Aureliano Guzmán Loera, a.k.a. El Guano. All right, look at he's cool. 3-button down on his button up. Not exactly a butterfly collar, but a impressive collar indeed. And, you know, the hair that some of us dream of. Operational actions are being developed since this morning in Sinaloa, specifically Badiraguato and its surroundings. There are actions of the Security Cabinet, mainly headed by the Secretariat of National Defense. There are detainees. The detention of this subject hasn't been yet confirmed. Nonetheless, operations are ongoing at this time. As of that paragraph, no confirmation. Omar Garcia Harfouk confirmed the federal operation carried out in the mountainous area of Sinaloa. Now, there is no question that they're on his ass. That there's no question of. That we are absolutely certain of. They're in his mountains. They're burning shit. Everybody after him. Cartels are after him. The military's after him. You take it amongst yourself to get the information and find the fine line in between. He earned the prize. What prize is that? He was chosen? That they on his ass? That's the prize? According to reports from local and national media, the deployment was concentrated in Badiraguato and bordering areas with Durango, in the region known as the Golden Triangle, a historic bastion of the Guzman family. Medias in Sinaloa reported since this morning of helicopter overflights and the presence of federal forces by air and land in the mountains, which generated unofficial versions about a possible capture of El Guano. Very unofficial. And salutes to everybody that comes and asks me on those mornings when those rumors kick off. I be knowing less than y'all on those mornings. But when y'all come and y'all hit me with them rumors, don't think that I'm bothered by it. No, now it's time to go look and see where these rumors generate. If you don't hear me speak about it right away, then there's really no fire. But those rumors are going to be out there. Listen, the internet is the internet, and humans are into deceiving each other. Some with reason, some without. Shout out Upper Echelon, that's the prize. Everybody on his ass, they on his ass, indeed. And they have been for a while. We've been hearing a lot. Radio frequencies of criminal groups even circulated about the capture of El Guano Guzmán and Churras Calabazas. Bro, le cagaron el nombre, literally. You know what I mean?
Yo vivo tranquila con la cagó el gallo. Cállate, hijo.
You gotta be a special motherfucker for your name to be Churras, okay? If your name is Churras, lo cagaste, okay?
Si la cagó, mira, hizo.
Somewhere along the line, that joke was made about you, y se te quedó, it gets stuck.
Coño, man.
Radio frequencies of criminal groups even circulated about the capture of El Guano, Guzman, and Churras Calabazas. The federal government hasn't specified the number of people detained nor the identity of those captured. For its part, the media, Infobay, reported that the Secretariat of National Defense denied that Aureliano Guzmán is among those detained. Originally from the mountainous area of Badiraguato, his name has appeared in various security reports related to criminal activities in the northwest of the country. Listen, it's my opinion that when they got somebody, you're going to know. You might hear rumors for a couple hours, but days ain't going to go by. So I don't think they got him. According to official investigations, he is linked to operations in the region known as the Golden Triangle, a strategic area for drug trafficking due to its geographically difficult access conditions. Over the years, Guano has been considered by authorities as a relevant target within federal operations from which he has previously escaped. The U.S. State Department is offering a reward of $5 million for information leading to his capture. He's facing charges in that country for international conspiracy to distribute marijuana, cocaine, methamphetamine, and fentanyl. On August 31st, 2025, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Service, ICE, its acronym in English, belonging to the Department of Homeland Security, announced a reward of $10 million for information leading to the arrest of Aureliano Guzmán Araujo, also known as El Juanito, son of El Guano. That publication, the department made inaccuracies by wrongly identifying the man as the brothers of the Chapitos, sons of El Chapo, when in reality he is their cousin. So the rumor was that they grabbed El Guano and that they grabbed Churras. For those that don't know what Churras is, maybe the chat can help. All right, so boom, that's the first story right there. Again, of course, this is a young picture, man. This This is at the party sleeping on the chair while the adults party picture from the 80s. Right there. Heavy military operation against Gente del Guano in the Golden Triangle. So it looks like the rumor has dissipated and we've moved to the heavy military operation against him that has yet to put him in somebody's cell. We ain't there yet. On Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026, a major military operation took place in El Durazno, Tamazula, Durango, an area heavily contested by drug trafficking organizations within the so-called Golden Triangle. Initial reports claimed that El Guano had been captured, but authorities later clarified he was not detained, although several others were arrested. They either lied or they let him go. Which one is it? We need a poll? Initial reports claimed that El Guano had been captured, but authorities later clarified he had not been detained, although several others were arrested. All right, we got a table full of hammers here. We got AKs right there. It's just a bunch of shit going on. Some ARs. According to the official report released by authorities, those detained include Abel N., identified as the right-hand man of El Guano's. Eber Israel N., a financial and logistics operator responsible for procuring weapons, drones, and explosives, and Etzaer Lugo N., the group's security chief, tasked with confronting rival organizations. 7 additional individuals were also detained. Although no specific charges have been disclosed, authorities also reported the seizure of 1 mini 5.56 machine gun and 10 long guns of various calibers. If he's old, guy's not going to be riding around with a lot of heads, probably blends right in and has his coffee every morning. Right, from a hotel or a resort somewhere, right? Or is he wearing military garb right now? That'd be a question for Upper Echelon. Upper Echelon, where do you think these guys at? You think these guys are in military garb or they're at Playa del Carmen while the rest of the paper soldiers handle that business? Which one is it? Real winners are going to be the new breed of players of the cartel. Seems like Miles and Chapos, they will eventually all go down. What are we going to talk about then, Shy? Well, there's no lack of filthy, dirty shit going on out there, right? That'll always exist. We make our transition from Mexico to Colombia, which we're already doing. We're going to start covering the connection between these countries, these cartels. There's always going to be something. And I am the king of reinvention, my friend. I've lived enough lives to know how to adjust. We'll be all right. But the new players, is going to be a different game. New players are going to have to, again, for a long time, until somebody comes and takes the reins and makes these type of political connections that Mayo cultivated over 50 years. It's a different game now. Now it's going to be make a deal per thing that's happening, not long seating. Not for a while, not till somebody grabs hold. Again, I look at this the same way I look at prize fighting. You'll have a champion that'll hold a belt for a very long time. It's very rare that after that person is beat, the person that beat him holds that belt for a very long time as well. Usually the belt goes back and forth to this one, to that one, to this one, to that one, and then it'll land in the hand of somebody that can hold it down. That's just my thought. That's just me thinking of how things have changed. They're losing a lot of friends up there in high places. The same way we talk about in Cartel episode 5, The Tell, where we talk about the twins and losing the luster of their value, not being attractive anymore. Well, what happens when the cartels, the way they are moving, become that for the government? When they say, you know what, these lace pockets ain't worth it right now. We could restart this shit and get back to getting money. I'm pretty sure they have El Guano a couple times. The same thing with El Chapo and Miles' brother, Jesus, and many others. What you mean, like had him and let him go, catch and release? Like a fish? Not sure if you remember when Z40 was caught. He had over $2 million in cash. Because that's how they roll. And that's it, catch and release fee. Think of Plato Plomo. I don't think they all move the same way. I don't think they all have to. Nah, homie is probably in a small town somewhere in the Sierra, just chilling, going to church like everyone else. He's hiding in the Sierras, living a shit life. Well, I don't know, Michael. They're saying he's having his coffee. He's chilling. They had to arrest Z40 because it was already being reported by mainstream American TV and the internet. Well, if that $2 million didn't buy him anything, then that was a waste of carrying that shit around. He's in a small hut down the block looking like an elote man. Damn, boy, don't say elote. I miss elotes, man. Your boy eating healthy right now, boy. I'll shut this whole shit down. Go find the last elote man on the street. The next guy who could snitch for 50 years. What do you mean, snitch for 50 years? Snitch and then still get 50 years? That's what you saying? That sounds like a fucked up proposition right there. I wouldn't be surprised if El Guano's hiding in plain sight. That happens more often than not. I don't doubt it. We saw, who was it, Ramon Aureliano in his Jordan jersey and his hat in Hollywood. I'd be surprised if he had more than a few people in his inner circle. According to the people in the comments, you gotta have 100 motherfuckers with you at all times. Catch and release, it's more obvious when they get caught with a shitload of money. Just like everyone else, there's levels. Not everyone gets the same benefits. No, yeah, he's either nice in a small town or he's living fucked up, got 3 dudes, one of them got a bad leg. He's in a normal house on a hill with a little privacy, living like your average Joe and having a cup of Joe every morning. Don't forget, he also had a wig on. Oh, yeah, he had a wig on. Did he have a wig? Yeah, he did have a wig on. Here's the problem with him having a wig on. Ain't that how he used to wear his hair anyway? Like, I was like, wait, what? Have you ever seen Z40's perp walk? From the time he was arrested, he was walking around like a boss, no cuffs, and it looked like he was the boss compared to how they perp walk El Chapo. I also saw Vicentillo walking around with no cuffs too after they grabbed him. Bro, those mountains and the way of living is everything to them. They're baby boomers. So he's not hiding out in Mexico City, basically, is what you're saying. Arturo Beltran Leiva was basically in the same boat as El Mencho. It's the paradox of power for high-ranking connected criminals. At some point, their power will actually be the reason they get popped. Or it could be their cousin, all right, who has mad connections with the DEA, and they're putting motherfuckers away. You go to jail. You go to jail. Everybody
You're stealing, right to jail. You're
could
playing
be a
music
little
too
bit of
loud,
that too.
right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail.
Who is El Guano? Born in La Tuna, Sinaloa, El Guano is the elder brother of El Chapo, the imprisoned former Sinaloa boss, although far less known than his infamous brother. El Guano has maintained a low profile, operating largely in his shadow. Little is publicly known about him beyond official reports linking him to drug production and transportation in the Golden Triangle, as well as a $5 million bounty on his capture. There he is. There's the picture. ICE Most Wanted list. The reward. All right, anybody? Y'all know where he's at? You cash in right here, man. Some of you know-it-alls should know where he's at, right? You guys know it all. Look. All you gotta do is push this button. You get $5 motherfucking million. Rich as shit. Okay? He was long regarded as a minor figure in the criminal landscape, gaining notoriety only after the conflict between Los Chapitos and La Maíza escalated. Initially attempting to remain neutral, he was eventually drawn into the conflict due to the family ties and inability to forge alliances with other cartels in the region. Remember, we were questioning at the beginning, who's he gonna run with? He gonna back up his nephews? He gonna fly solo? He gonna back up the hats? Supposedly his side put out a video of them on a bridge with all their soldiers and all their hammers and said, y'all play y'all little games over there. You step foot over here, it's gonna be some shit. And then, rakata, shit went left. In this current conflict, his capture would be significant as his faction alongside Los Calabazas remains among the few still actively fighting La Maíza. His removal could further weaken Ivan Archibaldo's position. Although Sedena and Omar Harfouk confirmed that El Guano was not detained, it is worth noting that he has evaded capture in several operations, reportedly at least 3 times despite being over 70 years old. Reports indicate he suffers from diabetes and travels with a private doctor, frequently relocating, underscoring his continued ability to evade authorities. It is also unclear why the full list of detainees was not immediately released. Such omissions sometimes occur in operations where detainees are later released. Although the official statement indicates that the authorities were targeting high-ranking members of El Guano's faction, it remains uncertain whether those reported arrested justified a large-scale military operation in the Golden Triangle, a.k.a. we sent helicopters, we sent soldiers, we sent all of this personnel, we got a couple of 2-3 guys with a couple of guns. At the same time, it's unclear whether the government is weighing the risks of publicly confirming. I was thinking about this while I was reading that. All right, we're going to get to this. At the same time, it's unclear whether the government is weighing the risks of publicly confirming the capture of El Guano, given the potential implications of any statements he could make in the United States following the death of El Mencho. The death of another high-profile capo in government custody could draw increased scrutiny towards the administration. You see how they said two things there. When I started reading that paragraph, what I was thinking while I was reading was, let's just put on our tinfoil hats. Government goes to snatch up Guano. They snatch up Guano. He's 70-something-year-old man. He falls out, dies right there in custody. Home Alone face. How the fuck we gonna explain this one? Another one? They're never gonna believe the truth. Huh? And then in this paragraph, it starts off with, it's unclear whether the government's weighing risks of publicly confirming the capture of El Guano, right? But then it says, following the death of El Mencho, the death of another high-profile capo in custody could draw increased scrutiny. Well, you never alluded to Guano dying in the rest of that paragraph. I'll read it again. At the same time, it is unclear whether the government is weighing the risks of publicly confirming the capture of El Guano, given the potential implication of any statements he could make in the United States. That is a living man they're talking about. Then they say, following the death of El Mencho, the death of another high-profile capo in government custody could draw increased scrutiny toward the administration. Who said anything about him dying? I think that could be a possibility, man. Whenever you're dealing with old people. Old Salamanca and shit. Should be fucked up, man. You got a problem on your hands and shit. Am I crazy? Tell me I'm crazy. Shannon, tell me to take off my fucking tinfoil hat. What if they went to go get the old man and the old man just crapped out? Boom, done deal. It's been a good one. It was hard enough getting them to simmer down about the last one. Nobody gonna make a big hubbub about this, but they're never gonna believe the truth. That's it. It's my tinfoil hat. But let's not shuck the possibility that an old man could die after being run down on by helicopters and soldiers and shit. That could happen. If people get to an age, a cat scare them. It's a wrap.
The upper room.
Bro, the only people that care is the media and the sicarios. That care about what? Whether he lived or died? There it is. As far as I'm concerned, he is not captured. He's wherever he's at. Have we seen old people get captured throughout this whole last couple of years? Absolutely. They not discriminating. They taking your old ass straight to jail.
You're stealing, right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail.
You could come in there and be like, man, but he's, he got $1 million and he's 600 years old. Yeah, well.
We do not care.
We do not care. Well, they give a fuck whether he's living or dead. I know they don't think that there's going to be some uprising like there was for Mencho. But in the court of public opinion, political opinion, they'd be like, damn, another one? Y'all can't keep these motherfuckers alive when you catch them. Most times they don't want them to be caught alive when you catch them. So I'm saying the old man's not caught. I'm saying those rumors, they were all over the place. Multiple people in the comments, in the Discord. But I see nothing. I see nothing.